Hello everybody, welcome back. Tonight we have a new knife for you, and this is the Great Eastern Cutlery number 23. This is the liner lock in the Woodland Micarta. And so I wanted just to show this knife off and give you my thoughts on the knife, because it is a beautiful blade, a beautiful traditional folder, but there are some caveats that come with that, and I'm going to mention those in this video. But first, let's talk about all the positives of this knife. First off, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. The satin finish is beautiful. Let me give you a close-up of the handles and of the blade, so take a look at those. So of course, this knife right here is a traditional folder, so it is a non-locking knife. It is a slip joint mechanism. This particular one, though, does have a liner lock on it. So this liner does prevent the blade from folding in on you while you're using the knife, but I don't think it would be an issue with this particular knife, because as beautiful as the knife is, there are some issues with it that I'm definitely going to mention. And I know this isn't a new story for people who collect these knives, but since it is a slip joint, it requires a certain amount of pull to open and to close the blade. And for this one, it is very, very tough to open. So much so that I didn't even open it on camera for you guys, because you would see how much I would struggle to do it. And you know, I do own other Great Eastern Cutlery knives. I do own many slip joint knives, and this is actually the worst example of an opening pull that I've ever had. And so, of course, feel free to judge me and all that stuff if you're a pro at this, but I'm certainly not. And I can show you, for instance, on camera. Hopefully I won't cut myself doing this, but we're in the open position. I'm going to use the liner lock and close the blade, which we have at a nice half stop here. And so it does have a half stop. The back of the knife is flush at the half stop as well, so you might want to know that. But when it closes, it has some authority to it, and so that's great. Closes very easily, no problems there really if you're careful. Again, the major issue is when it comes to opening this knife. Number one, if you have a pair of gloves, it's not going to happen. So know that ahead of time. So I know sometimes the pull on these knives is rated anywhere from a 1 to 10. In my opinion, this would be a 10, because it is very difficult to open, even with your fingernail and that nail neck. Like, I feel like it's not safe. Like, getting it to that half stop, I have to use so much force that I'm afraid I'm going to go back onto it on my finger and get that edge. So definitely, if I was using this out in the open, I would honestly be afraid of cutting myself, you know, and sending myself to the ER for some stitches just from opening this sucker. I mean, once it's at the half stop, it's totally fine. You can just use your fingers to open it from there, and then it's open and beautiful. Closing again. Let's try that again. I found, just for playing with it around the house since I've gotten it, opening it a little bit and like sticking the tip into the table and then wedging it open that way has been a little safer, because that way my hand is not near the sharp edge. And then, of course, using the fingers to open it. That being said, I know not all slip joints are like this. Not all Great Eastern Cutlery knives are like this. I actually have one right next to me here. This is what number is this one? This is the Blade Forums exclusive. This one is, let's see here. But either way, it's a slip joint, and you can see how easy that is to open. This is a joy to use. This one is beautiful. Look at that action. Easily one-handed, open, close, still has the nice half stop, fully flush. So this is really how it should be done. And I get, for safety purposes, you really do want sometimes a very stiff opening mechanism, because this thing isn't going to shut on your fingers. And that's regardless of the liner lock. Even without the liner lock, this thing will never close on you on accident. And if it did, it would literally be a bear trap and you would lose a finger. But it doesn't have to be this hard. I think that's kind of unreasonable when it comes to pocket knives. I get it. If you're a fan of these things and you love that hard pull, totally reasonable, totally understandable. But in my opinion, if you were actually going to use this thing, gosh, I mean, maybe you just have to work it in. Maybe after time, it'll get better. But first impressions on this sucker, no way. No way would I carry this knife. No way would I do anything other than just keep this around for looks. And so honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this knife. So it's a beautiful pattern, the number 23. I love this micarta. Micarta is gorgeous. I just wish the pull was better, because I know they can do it. It is a capability. They can make a beautifully opening slip joint that's just as safe, in my opinion, like this one. But for whatever reason, on this particular run, they made those back springs super strong, and as a result, in my opinion, it's not safe. Again, if you're out there, your hands are sweaty, you don't have a sure grip, your hands are wet, all bets are off. No idea if you're going to be able to open this safely and use it safely. If you have gloves on, like I said, you just will not be able to get enough purchase on this nail nick to get it open. Again, I have to open it a little bit, poke it in to the table, and then wedge it open that way. That way, it's safe. But that's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So that being said, let's take a look at some of the accessories it came with. Came with a really nice little button. So the Pioneer number 23 Trapper. You can see that. Here is the tube. Again, lovely artwork as always. I love the tube presentation. Woodland Micarta model. And I know they make this like in, I think, bone and stuff like that too. I know they make a two-bladed version as well. So really nice knife. Again, it's bigger for a slip joint. I mean, let me show you some comparisons. Here it is next to a Kershaw Blur, and it's actually bigger than the Blur. That's kind of surprising. Spyderco Endura. It is almost the same size as a Spyderco Endura, so it is a big knife. It is a big, beefy folder, and if that's your thing, you're gonna love this knife. You're gonna love it. You may not love using it, but gosh, in hand, look at this sucker. This feels lovely. And you know this beautiful 1095 blade is going to get a perfect patina or patina on it. And it's going to look beautiful after you use it for a while. But me personally, I don't know if I am going to use it. I might just keep it for collection purposes. I might sell it, honestly, because one of my things is I may not actually use the knife, but I have a thing against knives that I know I can't use, you know. I do like the idea of being able to pull any knife off of my shelf and carrying it with me for the day in use. And this one, I don't think I could do that, at least reasonably. So those are my thoughts there on the GEC number 23 in Woodland Micarta. So if you have any opinions on this, feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know if I'm just being a wuss on it, or if this is pretty common with your GEC blades. I understand a hard pull is reasonable and desirable at times, but in my opinion, they way overdid it, because I can understand a hard pull, but this thing is colossal. So let me know your thoughts on that. Again, everyone have a nice day. Thanks for watching.